welcome to another Peteman Reviews. Today we have the Transformers Generation 1 model of Dirge. This is the commemorative release and is actually the last of the Seekers to be released as part of the commemorative line. In terms of changes between Dirge and the original release, I'm pleased to say there aren't any. It's the only one where he actually comes with the correct weapons. As you can see, they are different and they're non-firing weapons, which is why they got them right. Ramjet would have been the other one had they released him, so it's a bit of a shame they didn't, but no matter. As you can see, Dirge is a slight variation of the Seeker model in that he doesn't have the extra tail fins here, though he does interestingly, or maybe not interestingly, depending on what your views on this are, have these slots where you could put them in. The wings have been slightly adapted and you have effective wing tips which could act as fins there. Probably a little bit unstable in flight, but no matter. Dirge does of course come with the standard hands and the wing here, and the wheel here. So in terms of transformation, Dirge is nearly the same as the other Seekers, but there are a couple of, well, there's one different change in that his wings actually have to come off, detach and then rotate round. So that's not ideal, and you do end up with the Decepticon symbol the wrong way round. In terms of looks, Dirge looks good. It's kind of a brown, but I'm sure it's meant to be gold or bronze. Works quite well with the blue. So yeah, it looks quite good. I do like the wing designs. I think Ramjet's wings are probably the best, but Dirge's are definitely second best. They do work well. So thrusts have got some different modelling on it, but just thrust looks a little bit unstable, whereas Dirge looks a bit more stable. In terms of transforming, same as ever. Unhook the little wheel. I'd pop the little wheel now into the canopy just to make sure you don't lose it. That's the kind of thing that gets lost very easily. Take off the missiles, and then you need to take the wings off as well. So, feet come out like that. We can stand him up. Again, slightly different colorization elsewhere. Turn him round, you flip these out. These are Dirge's arms. And they just go like that. This hooks like that, you then hook it round, that goes in there. Being a second wave Seeker, Dirge is a cone head, which means he has the cone up like that. Now onto the wings. Had we left them like this, you then had the awkward rotation like that. I have seen some versions like that, but frankly, that's not how Dirge is portrayed. So you have to take the wings and put them on the opposite side. Decepticon symbol, unfortunately, now is the wrong way up. There's not really a lot you can do about that, because if you had the right way up in robot mode, it would be the wrong way up on the plane, and I think the plane's probably the correct way of having it. So, a little bit awkward there. There's not a lot you can do with it. Hands, again, hands are one moulded piece of plastic. They are designed like a fish. You can just see the thumb there, and they do have a little clip there which clips in. There we go. And then same on the other side, of course. Now, as you can see, the hands don't hold any weapons, so they do have a slot there. Yeah, you just see, there we are, a slot there, and then that slots into there. Now, these are moulded weapons. They're non-firing missiles, so they're a lot easier to put in. And actually, they look pretty good. Just as effective as the other weapons. Of course, they don't fire, so you can't shoot them across the room. Some would say that's not a bad thing because you don't lose them then, and they work quite well. So there we are, that's Dirge in robot mode. We'll just zoom in a bit on that. See, he's quite a good looking sculpt. I know it's the same as all the other Seekers, but it works well, so I guess why mess with it? In terms of arm movement, it's fairly limited. He can arm out like that, up like that. Because the wing is so high, he can't go all the way back with his arms. So it's kind of up to about there and then there. So it is a bit more limited just because of how the wings are. I know some of the others have the wings up like here too, which also limits them. If the wing rotates a little bit like that, then his arms go all the way back. So it's not impossible to make that happen if you want to do it. Compared with some of his contemporaries, well, this is Jazz. So again, this is the commemorative release of Jazz. So the missile is a little bit more big than the original. That said, on Jazz it actually works quite well. It's a very comparable size. Dirge is a little bit taller, but not stupidly so. And then you have Guzzle, the Sparkabot. That's kind of, it's more to show just how poor a robot effectively Guzzle is. But again, Dirge compares quite well with them really. You know, you can see these guys going up against each other. Who's your money on? I mean, Jazz is the big weapon, but Dirge has got two. So I know Jazz has two as well. So it's a fairly fair fight, isn't it? So there we have it. There's not really a lot more to say with Dirge. He's an easy robot to transform. It's the same mould as all the other Seekers, though he does have the nice wings. I do quite like the weapons. I think they work quite well. Again, they're not quite as good as Ramjets, but they do work quite well. It's something a bit different, whereas all the others are variations with colours. At least Dirge is a little bit different from that. So there we are. That is the Generation 1 commemorative edition of Dirge. Thank you very much for watching. Please do leave any comments and click on the other links, and we'll see you on the next video. Thank you. Goodbye.